So my landlord still hasn't gotten that tree off the house. So I'm a little mad, kind of angry. What do you do when you're angry? Are you mad right now, bro? Is there something going on in your life that you really don't want to deal with? And you know at some point you're probably going to have to, but it's still pissing you off? You know, there's a lot of ways to discover your purpose in life. Sometimes anger is one of them. You know, if you can direct your anger in the right direction and, you know, be able to focus and not let the anger eat you up and become other emotions, you can actually be pretty productive in life. And you know that's the funny thing. Sometimes you know we're angry and it's like, well, you mad? What the fuck are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do? You're mad. Okay, that's real nice. I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. But what it really comes, look, what you gonna do? What are you going to do? You know? Yeah, sometimes what makes you angry actually is what reveals your purpose. So, you know, it can be a great motivator if you use it correctly. You know, and that goes back to being able to redirect your energy and, um, you know, without destroying yourself because it's dangerous being out there in the world and being an angry person and you're all unhealed and you're just lashing out at folks and you don't really know where it's coming from. But yeah, no, that's dangerous as hell. And people, sometimes people that are really authentic, we get angry because it's like, you know, we see a lot of the deception, we see a lot of the bullshit, the fuckery going on, everybody doing this and that, and you know, behind people's backs and shit. And you know, it's like, man, why can't we just all be like that? Or not that being them, but that being us. And no, I know we're not perfect, but the thing about it is, I keep saying the thing about it is, seriously, but no, it's when you are somebody who lives by truth and justice and love and harmony and peace and treating your neighbor with kindness and respect and rejecting all of the bullshit. When you finally get to that point in life where you're able to let the negative things go and be able to focus on more positive aspects of the matrix that we live in. I mean, hell, we're in these bodies. We might as well do something with it. And when you encounter somebody who is all about that bullshit, all about that bullshit, of course it's going to piss you off. Of course you're going to get angry because you're sitting here trying to build something, you know, constructive. You're trying to build, not destroy. And of course, you're when you face opposition and you run across friction from other people who are in your peer group, in your neighborhood, your own community, sometimes even in your family, in your own house. What does that make you want to do? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what I want to do. You know, and that's exactly what the enemy wants to do. Their mindset is building their communities basically on the values that sit on the other side of the coin that we both flip. And that's what it really comes down to. And at the end of the day, you know, what side of the coin are you, you know, hoping lands face up when it lands? Let's just say heads, you've got authenticity and community service and joy and, being an upstanding citizen and all of those things. And on tails, you have deception and oppression, all these lies and illusions, the reptilian facade of society that shows itself when the matrix is actually being fully activated, and there ain't nothing that we can do about it. And there are those, we'll call them canon moments or fixed points in, on the timeline that we're living in. And yeah, there are those things that we just can't, ain't shit you can do about it. You see it coming. There's nothing you can do about it. Feeling like, you're about to catch a spirit bomb, and there's nothing, you're not strong enough. If you survive this, what do you do afterwards? Of course you're going to be angry. Wouldn't you be? Nigga just hit me with a spirit bomb. Just, of course I'm angry. You just hit me with a fucking spirit bomb. Tore my damn, tore my gi all up and shit. Oh, my chakras are active. Aftershocks. That's what it feels like, when we've had those moments where life hits us with a fucking spirit bomb, and we're laying there in the aftermath and all the collateral damage, and we're looking around and like, what the? Okay, well, I guess that's what we got to. That's what we're doing today, guys. And when it comes down to it, there's a lot of ways that it can go, but just be grateful that you're still alive at the end of it, after it happens, and you can pick yourself up out of the rubble, build again. You can do that. You're still alive. Every day that we wake up is a blessing waiting on a lesson. It is what it is. And we're going to have moments in that day that are going to make us angry, that are going to make us happy, that are going to make us sad, confused, anxious, you know? Those are the days that can lead to really manic episodes for some people, really depressive episodes for other people. So, like, it's important to be aware of the things that are going on energetically inside of us, and always to keep one eye on that, and being able to focus on the present moment as well. You know, sometimes you might feel it in the moment and you're like, oh, I'm kind of in the middle of something. I can't really, you gotta it 99% of the time you're going to have those 3 to 5 seconds to access that and say, oh, what is this? Oh, okay, all right, well, I don't want it, or I do want it. That energy, you have, there's always time, unless there's a bullet coming at you, or a bomb, or, I mean, there's a life or death. If it's not a life or death situation, yeah, you got time. And a lot of us, in the rat race, we do get caught up in those moments, and we tell ourselves, no, I don't have that 5 seconds. Well, I'm just going to have to go with it, and I'll figure it out afterward. No, you can't really doing that. Can't really be doing that. That's not healthy. Not healthy at all. Walking around in a state of continuous anger and, perpetual hypervigilance and borderline rage isn't healthy either. And there's a happy medium. And once you get to the point where you've integrated and you've done all of the work, and you can in everything, and you're at the point where you can observe the anger flowing through you without hooking on to it. Just that's what we all should be achieving or looking to achieve. I don't want to be angry all the time, but I am sometimes. Sometimes I do let it go. Sometimes I do hook on to it, and it takes me. You know, I, I'm only human. I'm only a man, and you know, Jesus had moments of anger. That nigga flipped over tables. I'm sure he probably crashed out once or twice and was like, "Hey, my bad. I'm sorry. I may have spoken out of turn." That's the nature of the flesh. I'm not. Yeah, actually, let's dig deeper into that. Jesus actually apologizing for cussing somebody out and being wrong. Hmm. I wonder if that's really a thing. I mean, it's worth a Google, but I don't really want to dig into that. Maybe some other time. But that's something to think about. You put a pin in that, and maybe we'll come back to it. But no, seriously, when we let our anger misguide us, those are the types of things that are going to happen. Gonna happen. It's almost 100% likelihood that when you let your anger misguide you, you're going to crash out and you could potentially fuck up some shit. But those are the hey, that's the shit. That's the breaks. That's the breaks. Old school 80s kid. But that's the joy and the wonderful feeling of being able to regulate yourself. It's awesome. Like, I also be able to, I can look back on situations where now I have the ability to regulate myself, where back then I didn't. And I think about some of those situations, and I kind of have to chuckle to myself like, wow, that would have went totally that would have went so different now. But everything, it's those are the types of situations that get you to the point where you're going to be able to, as long as you're aware in that moment. So yeah, no, shit. Shout out to all the moments that made a nigga crash out, because now I'm not. Now I'm not. But yeah, anger is a very, 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 very good motivator. It's a good barometer of energy. It's a good, compass, basically. You need a little direction, a little bit of clarity. And that's one thing that I've always tried to stress about energy. It always does. It comes from different places. You never know where your inspiration is going to come from. As a musician, I know that personally. You never know where your inspiration is going to come from. And it's honestly, a lot of my inner inspiration does come from the anger that I experience in those moments. But yeah, I don't know how long I've been rambling. Um, yeah, anger. Are you going to let it hook you? Let me know how you feel. It's your boy Shifu. Holla at me when you see me. I'll talk to you soon.